Hey, it's Dan. I just thought I'd make a rate my TA video for Rocky Outcrop, and I'll start with Atossa Therapeutics, if that's how you pronounce it, and they're a breast cancer biomedical company. Naturally, because they're trying to find a cure for breast cancer, everyone and their nan has shorted it forever since inception. But don't worry, because if they did actually find a cure for breast cancer, they left us a lovely big gap on the chart. Obviously, I'm actually going to try and do some TA here. I don't think we're going to fill that gap at 878 when we're at market value of 326, but I'll give it a go. I'll try and sell it to you. So the first thing that jumps out to me is that we're sort of, well, if we invert the chart, we're rolling over. It's an opportunity to look for a swing trade here. And we've just had a golden cross where the 50 period moving average has crossed above the 200. We're on the weekly chart here, and then we'll go down a bit later on to try and find some entries. We'll draw a fib from the top to the bottom. And you see we're bouncing here between the 0 and the 236, and we had a little bit of a move above it, but the next macro level move will probably take us to $15. So if we can convince ourselves that this is bullish in this zone, then we could be looking at a 5x trade, so it's worth investigating at least. So looking at the macro level of the chart, this is a triple bottom, or this one's slightly lower, so it's maybe an inverse head and shoulders, but unfortunately I think we shouldn't be using that in our TA, because if we take the measured move from here to here and move that up, that's effectively the move that we got after this resolved. We're living in the post inverse head and shoulders era, and that can also probably be confirmed by this opening and closing volume here. A load of people got in on this trade, and a load of people got out there. Probably a bit more people got in here, but there's people left in the trade that we can hope are still with us. But alright, so what else can we look at? So we can look at the RSI here. So nothing screams out to me here other than long term incredibly bearish divergence on the RSI, but I don't think we really care. That's pretty obvious to us. We probably want to look at the lower time frames to know anything about that, but something I will look at on the lower time frames is this trend here. So we've actually, this central one, central bottom, was quite bullishly divergent, or maybe is hidden. I don't know. I don't listen well enough to Rocky. But bullish. But I don't know whether that move's been fulfilled by, as I said before, that inverse head and shoulders. We've got positive DI plus and quite a strong ADX of 38 currently. So we're looking at a bullish move. And then the last thing to look at on this chart was, I wanted to show this, and then also, if I can find him, this, and to notice that perhaps we're looking at wick-off accumulation here, and we right at the end of it, and we've also just had a golden cross. So I would be excited if the lower time frames look good to enter a trade around these levels. Let's go down to the daily. First thing that jumps out to me is using Rocky's indicator. Closing bar there. So Rocky's indicator is telling us that the ADX has dropped below 12, which indicates there's no strong trend in either direction, and that you can expect from that low volatility a period of much higher volatility to come after, but that Rocky has pointed out that it almost certainly comes back to those price levels afterwards. So here we're actually looking at we're able to minimise our risk really well, because we know that 9 times out of 10 the price is going to come back here. There's no situation, well, there's very rare situations where we'll be able to lose money opening a trade here. We might not be able to make much money, might not be useful might be a better place to put it in the market, but we can, if we're extremely risk intolerant, this would be a good place to take it. And so considering what we looked at the larger time frames, those sort of upside potential, that sort of upside potential, yeah, looks good to me. What else have we got here? So yeah, the RSI trend is a lot more pronounced here, or the trend line fits a little better, and we've actually been getting lower lows on the price action and higher highs on the RSI. I seem to have I flustered myself there absolutely, because I realised I had no idea what I was talking about. I tried to do live TA. No, I need to practice this before I start recording. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw this over to our sell side analyst. What's his name? I need to come up with a name for him. Bilbo Sammings? That's not it. Oh, shit, isn't it? Alright, thank you everyone. I'm sorry for swearing.